This bout will be just over 5. 3 rounds in the lightweight division. We'll introduce it to you first. Fighting out of the red corner. He stands 175 centimeters tall and weighing at 69.8 pounds. He is a deep veteran. Representing the Caloundra by way of Tokyo, Japan. Ladies and gentlemen, Hiroto Uesako. Introducing his opponent, fighting out of the blue corner, standing 175 centimeters tall, weighing at 70 kilograms even. Training at Ignite Martial Arts here in Caloundra. And ladies and gentlemen, this is it. His last MMA bout ever. Ladies and gentlemen,
And our main feature of the evening, Ryan Dunstan from Ignite SC, taking on Hiroto Uesako from Hearts Gym in Japan, training under Kenji Isawa. So definitely experienced mentor there. Kenji Isawa fighting everywhere from Dream to the UFC.
I believe Uesako is also trained in the past with Akiyama, Sexyama.
Okay, so definitely an experienced campaigner.
And, obviously coming from, fantastic fight teams with some very cagey veterans who can really provide a lot of experience. He's going to be a tough fight.
So Hiroto he's taking the centre of the cage. Dunstan just circling on the outside looking for the strikes, but Hiroto's really, I guess he's commanding where the fight goes at the moment.
Yeah, looks like he's fairly comfortable though with the strikes and with the range here, Hiroto. And really quick feints. Dunstan doesn't look too fast. Oh, good hard fight kick there by Dunstan.
Yeah, both guys look really composed, sort of feeling each other out, I guess, waiting to see what the other offers.
It's a big night, this one tonight. This is the swan song for Dunstan. He's been a crowd favourite and a local favourite for MMA for quite a while, but this will be his last fight tonight, so let's see how this fight pans out.
Hiroto just sort of shrugging off that takedown and a big right hand. Again, Dunstan going for the takedown.
Oh, and he is just persistent. Look at that, like a bulldog. Or just shades of Sakuraba style there, grabbing the ankle and shooting for it, but he's got
Hiroto down, so Hiroto with his back up against the cage, and he looks like he's going to be looking for a switch here. Wow, that's some amazing hip strength there. Just turning his hips onto Dunstan there and really just playing that weight down.
Looks like Dunstan just trying to find his time here to move. Not only great activity of strikes here, just a few peppering strikes from the Japanese fighter on top. Dunstan now using that Smee's go looking like he's trying to grab the ankle.
Just to complete this takedown, with Hiroto persistent and he's using that switch there to try and keep his base and still landing strikes at the same time. So
yeah, trying to attack that arm, but now Dunstan to his feet now. He's got a bit more leverage now and is switching back to the single. There it is. Oh, he's going to take Uesako's back here. Oh, but a great scrambling there from the Japanese fighter.
Yeah, it's really hard to take down. Obviously, those wrestling credentials will be paying dividends tonight, but extremely heavy hips the way he turned before in Dunstan.
And that's the thing, in Australia, we unlike America, we don't have,
again, Hiroto there, just using that hip strength, slowly laying down and getting on top and landing a couple of short, sharp shots there. Dunstan in half guard looks like he might be shooting around trying to take it back, but going out for another takedown. Oh, that hip strength.
And here we go, and
it looks like he's got an arm caught behind the back, and Dunstan's got his arm back, but just shrugging off with a couple of quick shots.
Referee stopped the...
I think it was punches to the back of the head. I think the referee warned Hiroto for punches to the back of the head, and he persisted.
Okay.
So yeah, Dunstan there holding the back of his head, but both guys are okay.
Yep.
both guys now with the second round, and Hiroto starting to throw some paint with the hands again. Dunstan shooting in for the single.
Yeah, it's great, straight under. Shot straight
and
under.
Hiroto just shrugging Dunstan off and
huge.
shots
And
now, hammer
Dunstan is in
fist.
huge trouble now. Oh,
Hiroto really starting to tee
all
off.
over him. Oh, this could be over if Dunstan doesn't get those hips moving. Oh, looking like no. Oh, beautiful work. Dunstan's got an armbar here.
That almost looked like it was in fast forward.
Oh, it did. And Dunstan, and look, it's going to be up. Oh, Dunstan's still got that armbar.
That arm is wedged in there tight. Hiroto really punching, trying to get free. But
and he's done a good job, Hiroto, and he's rain grabbing.
arm at half extend. That was very close to being finished. Dunstan trying to shoot for that single.
He's still going.
Hiroto relentless with his strikes.
Dunstan is just survival mode here. He's trying to suck those legs of Japanese fighter in for the single.
You have to think how much that took out of Hiroto though, and he's still throwing. But that was a lot of strikes. He was really teeing off there.
Certainly was. And Dunstan, he's moving head side to side, inside thigh, outside thigh, just trying to keep his head out of range.
Again shooting for that single, and Hiroto again just on top and laying in some big punches.
And Dunstan is getting hammered here from Uesako on top, but he is still fighting and still defending himself intelligently here. So just covering up, and he really is looking for an opportunity to escape. But Uesako is certainly not going to give him one.
Yeah, Uesako is just really commanding this top position now, landing some big shots from the guard, and just
this is a commanding round by the Japanese fighter.
big shots there. And Dunstan looks like he's giving up the back. Hiroto now he's moving into mount, but no, Dunstan there pushing off the knee, going back to half guard.
Dunstan's certainly no slouch off his back. He's a brown belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and that is his bread and butter. That is his background. As you can see here in survival mode, he's gone back to it, and it's he's getting him out of trouble.
Again. And Dunstan looks like he could have a triangle attempt here, but Hiroto well aware, I think, of what's going on, and just trying to stay on top and land some more bombs.
Dunstan looks like he's going to survive this round, but I tell you what, I don't know what those countless amount of strikes, what toll they take, because that was pretty intense.
No, definitely a lot of hard shot, and then Dunstan still copying some big shots from Hiroto. Really, this is definitely starting to take its toll.
What a lot of heart though, he's really hanging in there.
Definitely, that fight could have easily ended there midway through that second round, man. He again still going for persistent for that
just
takedown.
Relentless, isn't he? Just relentless. He's just showing a heap of heart here.
Hiroto still staying on top, and again just basically pushing him over. Like we've seen from Dunstan's previous fights, the ground game is his bread and butter, but Hiroto's hips seem so strong.
That's right, but I'd say that Hiroto's just dominating round, but he seems to be might have punched himself out a little bit at the moment.
Definitely, you have to see in the third round. He threw a very high volume of strikes in that midway through that second round of that play.
Yes, it was interesting. Dunstan a little quite winded and quite wobbly back to his feet there, getting to his corner, but he's looks like he's freshened up though over the break.
Nice outside thigh kick there from Dunstan.
And let's watch now here with Hiroto, just see just how his conditioning's going to play out, because he was super active in that last minute or so of that fight. He seems still pretty light on his feet, bouncing around, but
he hasn't come out with the same intensity he did in that second round. Though he really sort of came out quite strong in that second round, and sort of hanging back a little bit in the first round, maybe just trying to get a little bit more gas back in the tank before he goes in for another flurry.
Well, Dunstan clearly doesn't want to be on the bottom again like he was just then, so we'll have to see what sort of tactics he's going to come up with. Ooh, no,
yeah, that outside thigh kick finding the meat.
Yeah,
Hiroto's thigh.
He's finding a home with those, isn't he? He's starting to learn. Oh, beautiful lunging left hook there.
He sort of really just snuck in there. Caught, I think, Hiroto a little bit off guard there. Dunstan really starting to open up with his hands.
I think we've seen in a couple of Dunstan's fights. It's one of his little trademark moves. Fake the shot and then come up high with the lunging left hook. Great stuff.
Again,
there it is again. We were just missing.
Hiroto backing up for that one. I think he's looking out a little bit more now for the hands. And Hiroto with an uppercut that misses there. That was like a lot of steam off.
Yeah, that was like out of Mortal Kombat. That uppercut. Oh, good. That's the third one this round. And this is what maybe the tactics of Dunstan are. Attack that lead leg, make the shots harder.
Slow Hiroto down and reduce his ability to his own takedowns as well.
He certainly has slowed his output down. Dunstan seemed a little bit more comfortable in this round.
Yeah, Hiroto's taking his time a bit more, obviously realising that second round that Dunstan not easy to finish. An excellent reversal there from Dunstan.
Beautiful, so he slipped that punch, come straight under the back and then straight to the mount. Here we go. And we're in the exact same position we were last round, but tables
on
turned.
top. You can't pick it, Matty. It's been back and forth in a lot of our fights tonight, and this one's doing no exception.
And let's see what's going to eventuate from here, because Dunstan looked like he gave him a little pat of encouragement there as he was hammering his ribs.
Yeah,
It's nice to see.
It looks like both fighters exchanging pleasantries while beating the crap out of each other. So.
Yes, the great thing about this sport. And Uesako looks like he's trying to get back to his feet, but not having a whole lot of luck. I mean, he's really got to do more than attack with the guillotine when the person's in the mouth. So when Dunstan on top.
I don't know Hiroto's game completely, but obviously from what we've seen so far, doesn't have as much to offer off his back as what he did from being on that top position. So that wrestler, I guess, mentality, having a lot of strength from being on top, but when they're on their back, not necessarily as much to offer. Fourth round.
Here we are for the fourth round here. Dunstan, and look, he's come straight back out. Same tactics. I'm going to hammer your leg. Let's see.
Look out for that left hook again as well. And Hiroto shooting him for a takedown of his own. Dunstan staying on his feet though.
And that's the sort of stuff that you don't see. He's missed that shot. I'm straight to the clinch. Boom, tries for the trip.
Inside the shot in the clinch. Hiroto again applying that pressure up against the cage, looking for that sweep on that inside leg. And Hiroto just using his pressure there to apply on Dunstan, just to keep him wedged in there and just kneeing that outside leg there. And Dunstan doing well to stay on his feet.
Yeah, I think he's taken some heart from that third round. I think I'd give the first round to Dunstan, and the second round clearly dominating to Hiroto. But then there was that I believe a point deduction.
Yes, that'll be interesting. I think that is a 5-round fight. That is going to play into the card if it comes to a decision. So
and then that third round. Quite close, but I think Dunstan landed the cleaner strikes and finished with that takedown towards the end.
Definitely, Matty. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. Obviously both guys will be pushing for a finish in the fourth round. They're only going to get more tired if the fight presses on. So
yeah, we certainly haven't seen the same level of activity out of Hiroto since that second round.
Yeah, like you said, I think he might punch himself out. He threw a high line of strikes, and a lot of those strikes have a lot of power line as well.
That's right. We can't also remember that armbar, which we thought in two occasions was quite hyperextended. We don't know what sort of damage that's done either.
Yeah, that's true. But both guys having a great deal of action in the fourth round. Hiroto pushing Dunstan up against the cage, but no fighter really getting that clear sort of top position in the scramble sort of mode at the moment.
Look at that though, Dunstan still got a heap of energy there. Oh, beautiful takedown. Double unders, shrugs him up to the hip, sucked him away from the cage into the ground. And Hiroto, if you just saw there, sucking in the big ones, as we would say.
Yeah, fatigue, and keeping in mind that he's travelled from Japan. He's probably only been in Australia for a couple of days, so I guess his world will be turned upside down at the moment, Northern Hemisphere to Southern Hemisphere. So
yeah, see, Dunstan's doing a great job here. He's got that underhook. He was picking the ankle, a few shoulder barges, but I think same situation is. Oh, look at that!
Excellent takedown once again. Back trying to get that sort of crawl up into that mount position, but Hiroto with nowhere to go, and that's the end of the fourth round. So we're going to go into the last round of the match.
That was really good stuff there. I think Dunstan's found a home for those kicks there, and also got a lot of confidence in that wrestling now. You see he's taken Hiroto to the cage and landed those takedowns, but most importantly, almost similar to what we saw in the O'Reilly Gascoigne fight, his frustration, taking Hiroto down and making him wear the weight and making him get up again and taking him down again. And it's clear that Hiroto has had less activity and struggling a bit to get off his back.
No, definitely, Matty, and this like both guys here, you embrace this, both guys visibly tired. Like It's been a pretty taxing match, and coming 5 rounds, you don't normally see that.
Dunstan bang, inside thigh kick, outside thigh kick. Still got plenty of energy, and this is the 5th round. You know, there it is. Once it is, take that shot, lunging left hook, absolutely beautiful. And Hiroto with the shot, and yeah, he just doesn't seem to have that same sort of penetration in the shoots.
No, he looks like he's lost a lot of the power. So.
Yeah, dude, sort of telegraph that, but you know, and like I said before, you know, we can't forget this will be Dunstan's last fight, and he seems to become strength in his last few rounds. So
definitely, he'd be pushing for that win at all costs.
You know, yeah, it would be a very sweet victory if he could take this after copping and hammering in that second round.
Yep. So again, he's persisting, and he's got the takedown again. Hiroto, you can just see the, I guess, that look of disbelief on his face. He does not want to be here for another round.
And the same thing from Hiroto there. He's, you know, controlling with a sort of guillotine, and then he's just holding the bicep there, not really looking to search for underhooks. He doesn't, and not really trying to use the instep of his feet for hooks to elevate Dunstan and mess with his posture. So, you know, I don't know whether that's frustration, fatigue, or just something he hasn't worked a whole lot on. But there we go, back to his feet. So what do I know?
And again, the nice knee there, Hiroto. Ryan there looked like he's just pushing up, looking for that double. We switch it to a single again, and not quite, but very persistent with his takedown. Obviously, he can get Hiroto again down. He can put his weight down on him, and
here we go. As a restart here. Fighters look exhausted, but you know he's still a lot of fight left in him. Oh, Dunstan tried the kick again. This time Hiroto threw a big hard overhand right there. Hiroto though looks quite more physically fatigued. Dunstan having a good time out there with a smile on his face. He knows this is his last fight, his last hurrah, and he has shown so much heart tonight. And you know, really good game planning and gritty performance. And I'd say that he plays the rest of this fight well, and nothing crazy happens. He could take this victory. And now Hiroto is just sensing that urgency with some crazy jumping front kicks there. Dunstan back to bread and butter jiu-jitsu. Oh, and there's the takedown again, and that could seal this fight. Dunstan now going to try and move to mount here, suck those hips away from the cage. But Hiroto here doing a good job trying to get that switch, but I think perhaps too tired to really turn it into a single or use it for anything else here. Oh, look for an underhook, and Dunstan bang onto that straight away. He snapped with the Kimura. Dunstan's finishing with a flurry here, and that's the end of the round there. And show of respect, the fighters embrace after what I think was an absolute war. Great stuff there. Dunstan, what a great performance. I think, it was quite a close fight. Hiroto, nearly had him finished a couple of times in that second round, but he's fought back to a fairly even third round, and I think taking 4th and 5th, factoring in that point deduction, I really do think he's taken the victory here. But as we know, anything can happen, so let's just have a look and see what they come up with.
Judges have scored this bout 47, 46, 48, 46, and 49, 47. And the winner by unanimous decision from the blue corner.
There it is for Dunstan, unanimous decision. Oh, fantastic! What a great end to his night, and what a great end to his fighting career. Started off with a bang with a lot of wins under his belt and had a hard trot, and now he's come back and taken this one against a really technical fighter. Great stuff.